Alright viewers, Matt said thesis world tutorial. In the Hornet today we're covering some advanced functions of the Harpoon, mainly the waypoint function, where we can program a waypoint for the Harpoon to follow, so it will hit a target in the desired bearing that we want it to. So let's get set. We'll go to air to ground mode, master arm is already on, and we'll go into C mode on the radar. Now we know the target is roughly at waypoint 1 because I put it there, so waypoint 1 is about over there, so it's about there-ish I think. So what we'll do is we'll find the target, then we'll put a mark point using the radar ahead of the target by about 20 or 30 miles, which will allow the missiles to get onto a bearing that we want. Now, I know the ship we're hunting has most of its defensive weapons on the back and sides, so we'll attempt to attack the target from the front. So let's set the harpoons up. So we'll go mode R-ball flight low. We'll keep terminal to medium. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay. We'll set this up for every missile. And I'm using my Cougar MFDs for this, that's why I'm not using my mouse. You can't see my mouse moving, that's why. Okay, they're all set up, good. Now we're just going to keep flying until we find the ship. I'm just going to fast forward. Okay, got about 60 miles, so we can see it's like right there. So what I'll do is I'll come over to about this point here in map mode. So you can see the ship on map mode there. It's that kind of little speck there. It's not as bright as on the C mode, obviously, because it's like map. So we'll put the waypoint about here. This should give it a northerly bearing, I think. Okay, target selected, so I'll set Mark 1 for that. Now we'll undesignate that and cycle to Mark 1. There we go. I'll now set this back to R-ball because it deselects that. Okay, so now we'll go through all of the harpoons and I'll select this back to C. And we should find him again. Okay, got him again. Okay, target redesignated. We have him locked in the harpoons. Now I'll go to M1 and set all of the harpoons to have M1 as a waypoint. So here we go. And you can see the missile's going to dogleg at mark point 1, then head to the target. So let's fire off all the harpoons to see what happens. Actually, before we do, I'm going to decrease altitude, because what will happen is below about 5,000 feet, or like really below 1,000 feet, the harpoons have a secret kind of fourth altitude where they'll skim like very low, which is what we want. So we've lost the lock, but the harpoons they'll just fly to the last known location. The ship's not moving that fast, so they'll find it. It's fine. It's not a problem. Also, a slight correction that I've been made aware of is the seek setting in R-ball does not relate to the size of the target. Instead, it relates to the distance the harpoon will turn on its radar. Low is like 5 miles, medium is, I think it's 10, and high is 16, or some, I don't know exactly, but basically, usually, unless you're looking for a ship that's like within like dense civilian shipping, but then again you shouldn't use harpoons in that case. But if you have to fire a harpoon, then use small in that scenario, but other times you use medium. It's generally better to have, yeah, you'll find the target you're looking for more often. So let's fire off all the harpoons and see what happens. Active pause here, and we'll watch them on the F10 map. So they should kind of go about this way for a few miles, then they should head to the enemy that I've set up. They're heading out, and they should turn about here. Assuming that I've done this correctly. Yeah, okay, here, okay, they're turning now, good. Okay, they're in the terminal phase of flight now, they should be beginning to pop up soon. And if you look at Nutrishimi, its heading is 136, so that's, yeah, okay, so that, yeah, so they're flying, pretty much sailing right into the Harpoons, which means the two kind of seaways turrets it has like kind of like Panzer turrets pretty much, and they look to the right and left of the ship. They can't really fire forwards that well, which means in theory these should be masked for most of the flight against the AAA. Okay, so it started to turn. It is shooting, trying to shoot them down. Yeah, no, they're all making it through though. They're all making it through. And yep, that's one hit, and these other two should also hit. Yeah, and as you saw, the missiles were barely being shot at by the AAA. You see, it's pretty much all masked throughout the entire flight path. It's not being shot at all. Yeah, right. So as we saw, the ship, because they were sea skimming, they had pretty much no time to actually intercept the missiles because they couldn't detect on radar until about 10 miles because harpoons are really tiny and hard to detect on radar. Then when they were detectable, the ship could barely engage them because it had to turn to either left or right to get its guns on target. Which means I think 3 or 4, I think either like most if not all the harpoons made it to the target, that's really good for harpoons because normally they get intercepted by seaways a lot because they're really slow. You can also do a similar thing with the Slam and the Slammy I believe the Slammy can have more than one waypoint. So that is very good to know. So with that, that'll be the end of today's video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Patreon, TikTok, and YouTube. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and have a wonderful weekend coming up soon. Shark 31 signing off.